Good evening, everyone. Hello, hello. Happy terrific Tuesday, Wednesday. It's Woke Wednesday. It's Wonderful Wednesday. What am I talking about? Hello, everyone. I am Deshaun Antoinette Booker, and I am your maximizing coach. Mwah. Welcome today, this evening, wherever you are watching us from. If you're watching us live, thank you for the conversation that we're getting ready to have. If you are watching us the replay, make sure you put #replay and let me know that you showed up for the conversation. Well, you know I'm excited, right? Because today means that I am here with you. And why am I here? Because it is another awesome, delectable conversation, right? Within the Yummy Cafe. If you don't know, let me tell you what we're here to do. And what is the Yummy Cafe? Right. Oh my goodness. YUMME. Your unlimited magnificence equals you and me. It's your unlimited magnificence. That means that it never ends. So, what is this all about? Well, I'll tell you because you asked. As a young girl, I've always had such a phenomenon and an attraction to women who were entrepreneurs. I love seeing women shine in their light and go after what they wanted, even when the odds were against them. As a little girl, I really did this. I would sit in the living room or in the family room or even my bedroom. I would go get my mother's, all of her magazines, right? You know, our moms had those subscriptions to every magazine. I would get those magazines. I would lay them out in front of me. I would look through all of the pictures and the advertisement. I was really drawn to the women who were featured in the business section. I was so drawn to their stories and watching them in their suits, right? In their skirts and beautiful attire and telling their stories of how they said they were going to work for it themselves. That really, really just was something that I was connected to. I love hearing how they overcame, what their visions were, what their passions were, and just them showing up for themselves. Now, I didn't know then that that was going to be something that I was really going to dive into in my adult life. But I knew somehow, some way that I, Deshaun, wanted to do what those women were doing. I too wanted to make an impact on the world because that's what I saw the women doing in these magazines, right? And so as I became an entrepreneur myself, I am a coach. I'm also a director, writer, producer, and a performance artist. And so when that happened for me, I was like, you know what? Are there other women out there who were going through those same journey moments that I went through, right? And I knew some of them because I knew them personally, but I wanted to have that, what I call backstage pass, and get the, behind the scenes of how did she really overcome everything? When did she know that her passion would be her purpose, her powerful journey? How did she turn her idea into an investment? How did she do that? I wanted to know. So I created a platform where women, like-minded women, can come on here and not just share their stories, but they can also lend that to the next woman who's thinking about possibly doing the same thing. Right? And so this platform is for all of you who are thinking about, doing something or have something that you want to rebirth, reinvent, right? You want to really challenge yourself and show up for yourself. So this is what we're here to do. So in the Yummy Cafe, get your notepad, your iPad, get your phone, get whatever it is you're going to take some notes because you're going to have to write some juicy nuggets because I bring phenomenal women here to share with you their stories like you've never heard them before. They are open, they are honest, and here's what I want you to know. This is a conversation and we're live. You can put your comments in the chat. I will read them and we're going to answer you in real time. I love that, right? If you're watching a replay, go ahead and Hashtag replay, put your comment there and we will get to you. I promise you are not left behind. So we are so excited. Oh my goodness. I always say I'm super duper excited because I am, because I get to also listen to some of the women that I know, some I've met, or some of them I've been knowing for a very long time, but I still get to hear their journey. I get to hear how they showed up for themselves. And that is so important, ladies, that we show up, and men, that we show up for ourselves, right? So listen, without any further ado, I'm going to read the beautiful, I'm going to generate, I don't say read, I'm going to generate with life the bio of who is coming to the platform, who's coming to the table today of the YUMME Cafe. Ms. Kim Dixon, founder of Illuminate Leadership Company, LLC, is a chief leadership and business development partner making a global impact. Kim has an extensive background in executive retail leadership, business development, and entrepreneurship. Kim is an advocate. I love this about her. She has a heart for the woman, honey. She is an advocate for women's economic advancement. She empowers women in leadership to ask for it. Woo, don't you like that? And to use their abilities, skills, knowledge, and acquire equitable compensation. Kim is a certified John Maxwell executive leadership coach and consultant, and supports individuals and organizations in leadership development through speaking, coaching, training, seminars. Now, listen, Kim has over 2 decades of leadership and business development experience. You heard me, 2 decades. She is an accomplished Toastmaster and currently serves as the Division A Director, supporting 5 areas and 21 Toastmasters clubs. My goodness. And she's here with us today, okay? Kim Dixon and the Illuminate Leadership Company has supported multiple organizations, including SBA, LAPD, LAFD, WNBA, LinkedIn, the Home Depot, Association of University Women, City of Los Angeles, City of Long Beach, National Organization of Women, World Project Partners. I'm not done. AU, ACE Foundation, Max Reach, and Odessa College. My goodness. I am describing a woman who is known as the master motivator. Okay. So, again, get everything that you need to take notes on. You don't want to miss the nuggets that she's going to bring to you under her amazing, and I say this because I know her amazing anointing. You don't want to miss not one drop of what she's going to say. Kim is passionate about supporting mental health, improvement, and overall quality of life. She believes that iron sharpens iron. And she's going to talk to you about that and what that looks like. And she loves supporting and learning from amazing human beings. Kim is a passionate wife, a supportive mom, a gracious grandma, and a praying, and I know supporting, uplifting, and encouraging sister girlfriend. Yes, she is to me. She enjoys traveling, woo, dating her husband, and vintage restorations. Okay, I'm ready for the master, who is the master motivator. I'm ready for the woman who's going to tell me how to iron, sharpen iron within a network of like minded women. I am ready for the anointing. I'm ready for the breakthrough, for the journey. That's right, of Miss Kim D. Dixon. Now put your hands together, honey, because she is here on the YUMME Cafe. And remember, I said she's global, and she said, I'm going to stop by, Deshaun, because I can do that. Yes, here she is with no further ado. My friend, my girl, I love her, the awesome Miss Professional and Loving Sweet Anointing, Kim D. Dixon.
Oh my goodness. LaShawn, I need to take you with me everywhere I go.
I'm
You know,
telling the
to
truth
everywhere.
here. Listen,
It is
sister friend,
such an
I am
honor to
telling
be
the
here.
truth. That's who you are. That's who you being. always. This woman has been consistent since the day I met her. She has been consistent in her character, in her integrity, in her showing up for others, in her supporting women, in her anointing, in her ability. And she says this. She didn't know I was going to say this. She says this, you all. It may sting, but I'm going to say it anyway. I said, uh-oh. She get ready to hit me with it. Kim, you know that's your favorite. You said, it may sting, but I'm, right? And she said, here it is. And I appreciate you for that, my sister. You have helped me so much. And I know it's not about me, it's about you. But I want to say, I am honored that you are sitting at the table with us this evening. And thank you for being here to give us your backstory. I love you and appreciate you. Mwah!
I love you right back. And I hope we can get through this without falling down and breaking apart. I am so honored to be here. I'm honored that my sister would ask me to grace her platform with her, and that she would introduce me in such a way that I don't need anything else this month. I feel on high. I am encouraged. I am full. And if there was nothing else said today, I would be good. But we came to share some nuggets with you. I am just over the top excited to be in the YUMME Cafe.
Yes.
It is a great day. And I hope that something that's said today will bless someone here, that will help them to pivot, to move forward, to keep going, to restart again, to start over again, to start from the beginning, to get inspired, to get motivated, to get moving, to pause if they need to pause, to rest if they need to rest. I hope that there is something today that you will take away that just makes your life just a little bit better. And if that happens, then our job is done.
That's right. That's right. Listen,
because
I
God
don't,
said one person plants, the other person may water, but God causes the increase. And I want to set that on the platform from the beginning, that, I don't cause the increase. God causes the increase.
Yes.
Our job is to plant or to water or to till, to pull up the weeds, to dig in the dirt, pour a little water in the can. So that's what we're here for today, both of us. And yes, iron does sharpen iron. And when you are with iron, you know it.
Wow.
You know it, because plastic will get burnt and cut by iron. Plastic can hang. But when iron is there, you know it, because something amazing happens.
Listen, I told the ladies, right? I told you all, she's dropping. I told you, listen, if you weren't ready, you already missed. We can say thank you, Kim, right now, right? She came in setting up the stage. This is who this woman is. This is who she is. And this is how she gives. She gives from her overflow. I just need you to know that. So Kim has set the stage. She set the platform, the conversation. And absolutely, it is he who gives the increase, right? We are truly the vessels. We are the vessels. And so when he says it, we say yes, and we are obedient, and we do what? We decrease so that God can increase. And so that is what we're here to do. And I'm just so grateful for this conversation, what's getting ready to happen. If you are new joining us, thank you for joining the YUMME Cafe this evening. I am your host, Deshawn Antoinette Booker, and I am your maximizing coach. And our special guest this evening is Ms. Kim D. Dixon. She is a phenomenating woman who has her own coaching business in leadership and business development. And we're going to dive right into it and get through all of our juicy questions and get that, what I call, backstage pass into how did Kim decide to leave corporate and then step into her full purpose, right? And so if you're with us, this is live. You have a comment. Even if you want to give a hooray, a yes, you want to give some great feedback to our guests, do that, please. I'm going to read them and share them with her. If you're watching the replay, put that in there as well. #replay. And I'm going to get back to you. And I will also make certain that if you have a question for our guest, Kim, she will also follow up with you as well. So no one is left out of the conversation here at the YUMME Cafe show. So Kim, we're going to just jump right into it. I like to have a conversation with the beautiful guest and what I call movements, right? What was your first, second, third movement on this journey? And so our first movement that I call is, what was your inception moment? So a lot of people ask, well, let me say this, Kim. A lot of people look at women who are in business for themselves, and myself, they see the woman in the stage of her success. But we tend to forget there was moments before that, right? And so I want to know, I want you to share, what was the moment for you that looked like, hey, I need to step into what God is calling me, or how is that looking for you when you've been in corporate all of those years? And give us a lot of that backstage pass. I want to know.
Okay. Yeah, I'll kind of start here. So my inception moment, I don't know that I can attribute it to just one moment. That would be kind of difficult. And my story might be a little bit different from others as it relates to the career side. So I absolutely loved what I did. I'm not going to come on here and my story, and nothing against anyone else's story, but my story isn't that I hated my job and I hated my boss and I hated the people. I absolutely loved it. I loved the people that I worked with. I felt like every location I was doing multi-unit at every location, I felt like that was my family, and we built a bond. And I watched them grow, and I watched their kids grow. And I was very well compensated at that level. I didn't
Okay.
start at that level. So part of my story is that I went from the cash register to the regional office. So I was a cashier in this organization, and I promoted 10 times until I became a regional leader. And
Wow.
I had a span of about 2,000 employees that reported to me. And very exciting, very exciting. But to whom much is given, much is also required. We want to be leaders, but we don't count up the cost. There is a
Mm,
cost to that, right? There's a cost
mm,
to the oil. There's a
yeah.
cost to the whole situation. And it is also an honor for God to entrust you with his sheep, because they're not your people, even though I felt like they were my people, but they're not your people, like you're an instructor, you're a teacher. Those
Mhm.
students are God's students, right?
Yes. Yes.
But it was an honor at the time that I left. But let me go back a little bit, because it wasn't always that way, right? Wasn't always that way. But as an entrepreneur, I believe that I've always been entrepreneurial. Even as
Yes.
kids, my siblings and I, we sold the lemons from the lemon tree to the lady at the corner store. We always had that spirit that, maybe I can do a little bit of compensation for my contribution. And our
Yeah.
contribution at the time was the lemons. And we sold them to the person at the market. Or if we had avocados, we sold it to the person at the market. So that has
Mm,
always been there. I did
wow.
find myself in a corporate career. I did very well in that career, but there was a lot of bumps and bruises along the way. A lot of times where I felt like I should have moved forward and someone else didn't feel that way at the time. But if you know me, you know that I could get knocked down, but I don't stay down, because I do have great faith. So,
Mhm.
I get back up, just like,
Yeah.
everybody pretty
Yeah.
much gets back up. We get back up and
Mhm.
we do what we have to do.
Mhm.
In order to do that, you really do have to have a support system around you. So I
Yes.
believe that I've had a support system around me to help me get back up and get back going. A lot of times people want to know, how do you transition from corporate to entrepreneurship? Well, it isn't just an easy leap. There's a
Mhm.
lot that goes into that. And if there is an inception moment, in 2014, my mom passed, and I was doing very well in my career, but there was something missing. And when she passed, I took some time off, and I did what I thought I was supposed to do. I took time off. I went to a therapist.
Yes.
I did the
Yes.
check mark, check mark, check mark. And I
Yes.
thought, okay, I'm
Yes.
good. I'm going to go back to work and
Work. Hmm.
continue on. But when I went back to work, my body went, but my soul and my mind did not follow. So I was
Mm.
physically there, but I couldn't connect to anything that they were doing. It sounded like they were saying, wah, 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 wah. So all the stuff that I was really excited about before, I was excited about the sales. I was that
Right.
person that I had all the percentages in my head, and I had my team.
Mm.
And we were going after. If it was something to go after, we were gonna get it.
Went after. Okay.
Right, right. But when I went back, it was like, What is it all for? My
Mm,
whole perspective kind of shifted. And then
yeah.
you may
Yes.
identify if you've had something major happen in your life, like the loss
Yes.
of your
Yes.
parent, or the
Hmm.
loss of a child or a spouse, or something just major where you're like, okay, what I thought I wanted is not what I want today.
That's
And
right.
there was no surprise to God, because God already knew. Like,
No.
it's all pre-planned. If you turn to the back of the book, He already knew what was going to
Uh-huh.
happen.
Uh-huh.
So, so I was just not there anymore, and things aligned where the position I was in was getting transitioned at the time when I was really thinking about leaving. And I had a conversation with my husband, like, I think I'm just gonna just take the severance and go. And
Wow.
because we have a good spiritual connection, he said, Kim, if you feel like that's what's right, then I'll support you. And
Okay.
yeah, so I didn't have a challenge there. I did have a challenge leaving because I felt connected to a lot of the people,
People.
and I
Yes. Yes.
wasn't absolutely sure what I would do when I
Mm.
left, but I always remember someone telling me
Mm.
that your skills are transferable. So I
Yes.
remembered that part. So the things that I loved doing there, I feel like I'm doing them today. So I don't feel like I am that much different as a person, because I don't think most of us are. Like,
Right.
our purpose is not necessarily our job. It's how we're
Yes.
showing up, and we show up in different ways. I have more
Yes.
freedom today to do that purpose. So the leading of the teams, that's why I love Toastmasters, because I have a team there, and
Yes.
some of those things. And I love connecting with amazing women who maybe don't necessarily see that next level, and I can help her see that.
Yes.
So back to transitioning. So in 2016, I officially left the organization after over 2 decades, like you said, and uh, and I thought I was going to go directly into the next thing. Okay, I'm ready. I'm pumped. I got all this energy, and I
Hmm.
heard the Lord say, "Take a year off."
Oh,
And
wow.
I'm
Wow,
going
Kim.
to do it.
Okay. Okay.
I'm good. And if you're on here and you work with me before, we go get it. We go get it, right? And I had a very difficult time resting. Had a very
Mm.
difficult time just taking that to powering down. And I had
Yes.
all these plans, if I can be transparent, and I know I can. I had
Yeah.
all these plans. I have this room in office in my house, and the whole wall is a chalkboard, because I have a beautiful mind and I like to draw it all out and
That's
write it all
right. Come on now. Yes.
pictures about it and do diagrams about it. So I had all this stuff wrote out. And one night I was worshiping, and I heard God say, "Erase it all. Erase it all."
Wow.
And I was like, "Well, Lord, let me take a picture first."
Right. Right. The
So we
negotiation starts happening. Yeah. Yeah.
negotiate.
We want to negotiate with God. Right. Now, wait a second. How much? What do you mean?
Because
Right.
that part right there was the good
It's
stuff.
good.
And
Right. Right, Kim. Right.
I literally heard, "Erase it all. That's not what you're going to be doing."
Kim.
So,
Okay. Just wait a
yes.
second. We need to know. We need to know. What were some of the things on the board?
So I had this strategic plan how I was going to work with these organizations, and I was going to show up, but it was about me and me earning money and me getting into the organization and me doing and me and me and me and me, and it wasn't about how I was going to show up and be the light. So the reason why God led me to call my company Illuminate is because He told me that you will be the light that helps people in their dark times.
Woo.
So my
Love it.
plan really wasn't about me being the light. It was about me getting the paper, if I can be honest.
Well, yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that thought process.
Yeah,
We've been conditioned to do that, right?
yeah,
Right. The first thing we're taught is get a job, right? After college
right.
or even after high
Yeah,
school. So we've been
yeah.
conditioned. Right.
And
Absolutely.
all that
Mhm.
is important. I do teach all my clients that, the compensation is
Yeah.
important. It's important that
Yeah.
you get what you came there for. But everything in perspective, right? And I said, to whom much is given, much is required. At the time, I was carrying a heavy load, not just myself and my own household, but other households, and being responsible for other people, because
Yes.
that's sometimes how we do it. But I got freed from that as well because I went through this program and I learned that you're not God. God is God, and
God is
let
God.
him take care of his people.
Yes.
And somebody needs that right there. You're not God. God is God. He's got it. He don't need your
Amen.
help.
It's the truth. Right. Absolutely. It's that
I've been there
surrendering.
with car
Yeah.
note.
Yes. Right. Exactly. So Kim, so you erased the board.
So I erased the, not only did I erase the board, so in this same time, and hopefully I can keep it in context. In this same time, I erased the board. I did this course with a young lady. Her name is Quay Whitlock, a coach. She did this course called Journaling with Jesus, and in this course, we were doing this. We did a prayer, then we would journal, and then we would wait for God to talk back to us, and we would continue journaling. And she taught us this process, and the process was amazing. And another young lady, iron sharpens iron. So everything I do, I don't do it alone. Another young lady, Prophetess Jerry, she showed up to teach us the course, and she literally changed my trajectory in that her 10 minutes on there. If I could just share quickly. She said directly to me, I'm in my home on my computer. This is how we roll now, right? And she says, Kim, why do you have all those doors closed in your house? And I'm like, what is this woman talking about?
Right.
And she tapped into an area that I was not talking about. I had before that, one of my grandsons had passed to SIDS. I never grieved it. And she tapped into that. She tapped into me taking off those grave clothes. And the reason why this is important as we're talking about business, when you're an entrepreneur, you are the business.
Yes.
If you're not straight, the business is not straight, right?
That's
If
right.
you're not taking care of yourself, if you're not getting that guilt off of you and those things.
Yes.
So in the process, I was working on my own self-development by doing this course. And I received this prophetic word, and it just really, really changed my thought process of the way the world sees success is, and then the way I wanted to go. I didn't want to continue going in that same direction. So at the same time, I had a license plate on my Jaguar that said "For Boss Lady." I retired the license plate.
Okay.
Because I felt like I wasn't that person anymore.
Yes.
I want to be clear, because it's okay to have accoutrement. I have this, right?
Yes.
But it's all in perspective.
Yes.
It's all in perspective. And I believe that when you're going after the compensation and the money, you need to have a purpose. So your territory will be enlarged. But what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? Because, to whom much is given, much is required. If you're only helping one person, you don't need a whole bunch of money. But if you have a calling to help thousands,
that's right.
Yes. If you need for that purpose, that's my belief. Everybody has their own. So I went through that process that really helped me with this young lady. And then after that, I just started connecting with other people, and we did projects together, and I started to grow the new business. So that was kind of the transition from, and I did end up taking the year off. As it just happened after I erased the board. It was like we did a restart, and this was in 2018. So we did a restart. It was just like, okay, I felt like I was out of alignment, and a lot of people may feel this way because, and you and I talked about this when we first started doing this coaching. They said, do this, get a funnel, and get a this, and get a that, and get a this, and you're trying to keep up with all these different things that don't align with you and the way that you work, and then you start feeling like a failure, although you were doing well over here, and now you went over here and you start feeling like a failure because you can't keep up with all these processes. They don't have little to do, not that they're not useful, but they have little to do with you helping your client.
That's right. Who you Yes.
And I heard just serve who I send you. Serve who I send you. I started hearing that loud and clear, and I started with receiving people. People started referring people to me. I started connecting with organizations that I actually align with, because previously I wasn't as aligned with the organization. So I started to do it in a different, more excellent way.
Yes, I like
Right.
that. An excellent way. Before we
Yeah.
move further, I want to say Christine Harper says, yes, shine the light. She says, shine the light. So we want to let person she's commenting. Thank you for joining us. Something you said, we're going to move into our next moment, but it's so juicy where we are. The same thing happened when I lost my mom. I lost my mom a year after you lost your mom. And same thing happened. And I'm sharing this with you all who are listening and looking. And thank you for joining this evening and watching the replay. Thank you so much. Oftentimes when there's a loss that you, like you said, right, a traumatic losing in your life, you begin to go through without even knowing that you're going. You don't say, now I'm going to go through. It just happens naturally because
Mhm.
of that closeness of what we had to that person. Of course, you're close to your parents, right? Or your children, or your spouse, or a loved one. But when when I lost my mom, I literally have said there was an entire part of me that went with her, and there
Mhm.
is a rebirth. There is now a you are repositioning yourself and
Yeah.
understanding what matters most to you. And so I love that you allowed yourself to say yes to the process. We talk about surrender a lot in theory, but honey, when
Mhm.
it shows up in your life, and you have to really do the work of surrendering. Are we going to, or are we not? Right. And I'm grateful that you did, because look at what has happened. So when God gave you that you are the light, right? Did you then know that you were going to go into coaching immediately? Did you, or did people just started showing up to you? Did you get a contract from a company, a business? What was it like when you stepped into the coaching?
So I felt like I was doing coaching, but we called it something else previously.
Uh-huh.
And the first thing, because in my career, I was responsible for the employees, but also product. So I felt like the employee part was coaching anyways.
Yes.
And then coaching was hot at the time. So at
Hmm.
first I said, well, I'm going to be a life coach because,
Coach.
I want to help people get their life together. And I quickly adjusted a little bit on that. But the first training I went to was John Maxwell leadership training. And the reason I went there is because I was already a follower of John Maxwell. I love his principles. And I love that when I went to his event, it really solidified there. At his event, one of the mornings, which was optional, he hosted like a service, and he did a preaching, like he preached and he hosted the service, and like I watched 300 or 400 people give their life to God. And
Wow.
we were there for, supposedly like the corporate leadership training.
Yes.
So I definitely support that. And in that led me more down the corporate road with the John Maxwell leadership
Mm-hmm.
training. And I started to do the one-on-one training. And then in the beginning, I absolutely I came out the gate with a partner, another partner, Coach Billy. We did some team coaching. Iron sharpens iron, right? And we had our first client was a high ticket client, and
Oh,
we're both team coaching her, right? And please, we've already asked for forgiveness. And I try to pour my whole 20 years of experience into her all in 3 weeks.
you gonna get this, girl. You gonna get this. Right,
Oh,
right,
get
right,
all
right,
this information. I done learned all this stuff. She had a product business. I've been selling products my whole life.
right,
And boom, here you go. I'm
right,
going to give
right.
you all this stuff. Let me just give it all to you.
She's like,
What I
whoa.
learned. Which I'm being honest, because a lot of people start coaching and they were so eager, and we want to help
Yeah,
people
we
so bad.
do. We do.
We have, we see the solution and we have the
Say it,
solution.
Kim. Yes.
We have to actually create a process. And this young lady that I'm on this live with is process oriented. Deshawn is process oriented. She has a phenomenal process for anything. So if you need someone that can help you create a process, this is your girl.
Thank
But
you.
for me, I was pretty much free to do the process the way I wanted previously. So then when I went into coaching, it was like, okay, well, we're going to do this and this and this, and then
Right.
tomorrow. And then the next day, we're going to do this and this and this and this and this. And the woman was completely overwhelmed. She did get blessed by the coaching because she had
Right.
know, more than what she needed. But we eventually leveled it out, and we, we
Yeah.
got it a little bit better.
Yeah.
But we
Good.
learned that. We
We
learned
learn,
that.
right? Absolutely. As you're saying, we learn, right? Let's go into our next segment here, the next moment or movement that I call these hurdles. So now you're in a zone and you're like, okay, I have my path, I'm clear, you're energized, you're passionate, you're sincere, and then life is happening, right? And we have these hurdles that get in the way. I know for me, I was, yes, my own barrier, but it was because, and I just want to just say this, and we talked about it a little bit. I was trying to, I became this manufactured thing because when those of us enter into this arena of self-development, of higher consciousness, right? Of self-awareness, and how do you move from one place to another in your life? And I stepped in completely, because I have been doing it, informally, right? But when I stepped into it, then I'm now being given all this stuff. I was given all this. Now check this off. Get some pictures. You got to speak this way and make sure you have this social media platform. And now you have to have a Facebook group. And then you have to do some videos. And then you have to have an online. Then you have to do this. It's like, make sure you write a book. Do it now. Do it tomorrow. I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? And so my hurdles for me were like, I'm just done, honey. Y'all just do it when I know you told me to do this. You woke me up, at 3:45. He did. He gave me maximizing your magnificence. But honey, there's too many voices. So what were some of your hurdles in this journey to your success?
Oh, girl, one of the biggest hurdles was not just transferring all my goodness from corporate into entrepreneurship. So
Oh.
previously, like I said, I did have good compensation and bonuses. So I couldn't transition them bonuses over into and transition, the level of success. I always would say that when you get promoted, you go from hero to zero. So when
Mm,
you get promoted, you're at your highest level.
yeah.
You're the best in your game. You're the best in that position. That's why they
Yeah.
select you. Hopefully, if they're doing it right,
Absolutely.
right? You're on top of your game. You know what you're doing. It's probably coming to you with ease. You've been doing it for a minute. But then when you go
Yes.
to the next level, you start at the bottom. So you go from hero to zero.
Mm.
Yes.
That's good. That's good. Somebody write that down. I like that, Kim. Okay. Give us more what that looks like. I like that.
So when you transition from corporate into entrepreneurship, same thing. Same
Yeah.
thing. You don't automatically know what to do. Some people do it dually, but even if you do it dually, because I've always had a little something on the side, no matter what my mom taught us to always have
Mhm.
something in the side pocket, right?
Yes.
I
Yes.
sold purses, I sold earrings, I sold all the things.
Wait,
Which
Kim, did you sell on the Facebook? Did you sell the jury that people,
oh
what did
no
you
no
sell?
no no, this is before that. I sold it out of my trunk at my job.
Did you go get it from downtown Los
Yes,
Angeles?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Proceed. Thank you.
That's what
Okay.
I told you we sold lemons and candy at school. We was the candy. We
Right.
was the candy family. We had our
Yes.
backpacks with the lollipops in them. So so I sold it all, right?
I
So I
love
always
it. I
had my
love it.
little sales thing. But when this is it, when you do, transition and this is it, and this is what I hope a lot of people with as well. Like this is it. You have to laser focus. You have to let
Yes.
those other things go. You have to
Mhm.
follow one course until successful. That is
Mm.
focus. Follow
Mm.
one course until successful.
Okay, Kim, wait. You got to let them. I told you all she's dropping. I didn't I prepare the people. Can you go back and give that again, please? Give that again.
We have to focus. We have to follow one course until successful, and that is
Wow.
focus. We have to focus, and we focus on the one thing. Whatever, if you're deciding that you're already in it, or if you're transitioning, because we're always transitioning, and know that we're always transitioning. That is
Yep.
life, right? We're always
Amen.
transitioning
Yes.
into something.
Yep.
So you have to pick that one thing. There's a
Mm,
great book, The One Thing by Gary Keller, and he says that there's one thing that stands between you and where you want to be. And when every time I say it, I think of one thing, and every time I hear it, I think of one thing. And there's one thing, maybe it's one thing you refuse to do, maybe it's one thing you need to
yes.
do, maybe it's one thing you're
Yes.
already doing, but you're not doing it to the level that you know you can.
Yes.
Because, I've and maybe you've dealt with the, you know, imposter syndrome, or you've played yourself smaller than you have. And I know that you can
Mm,
identify with that, because I
mm,
attract amazing people who are amazingly gifted. So I know
yes.
that they have not shown their gifts 100%, because I
Right.
myself have not. And
That's
those
right.
are the things that get exposed when I say working on your personal development. Those are the things that get exposed when you become an entrepreneur. So
Sure.
as when you're in corporate, you can hide a lot of that, right?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, but when it's
Yes.
you, and that's another thing that I dealt with. Like, I am a super delegator, and there was no one to delegate to.
Right. But yourself. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and
As an
they did.
entrepreneur, when you're starting out, you are the marketing team, right? You are HR. You are the
Yeah,
talent. You are the script writer. You are the facilitator. You are every single
the
thing, right?
runner. I ran out of ink. Who gonna go get me some
Yes.
ink?
I'm my assist, all of those things. Absolutely. I love how you have created the principle. And if get this, everyone that's watching and looking at the replay, Kim is really speaking about principle. She spoke earlier and she just mentioned it again, how even her and her siblings had the mindset of how to generate right an income, how to use that principle. And so that was instilled in you, but you then still had to reinvent that for your new space, for your
Hmm.
next level. And I love how you said, you had the parallelism of corporate, but then you knew there were some areas that you needed to still recreate for the benefit of being an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Did you call yourself an entrepreneur from that beginning, or was that something that you didn't want to identify with? Because some women don't just yet.
So I did, I don't get caught up in terms. I don't get caught up in labels and all that. Even
Yes.
when I was in a position of authority, I would never introduce myself in that way. I didn't
Mhm.
care if they thought I was the cashier, the person who picked up the trash, or whomever,
Come
because
on
I
now.
know who I am. My
Yes.
mom instilled that into every single one of her children from birth. I know who I am. I know whose I am. I don't need your title. Like,
That's right.
I think I'm amazing. So I know
You
who
are,
I am.
and you
And I
are.
don't mean that in a cocky way. I mean that in a assured way, that the Lord
Yes.
confirms that's
Here.
that's
Yes.
what He makes
Yes.
amazing people. And
Right.
I declare that. And if you follow me, you know that I make declarations, and I declare that
Huh?
because I want to attract amazing people. And how
Yes.
would I attract amazing people if I'm not amazing?
Come on now. Come on.
Right.
Yes.
It
Yes.
challenges me to show up in a more excellent way, right? It
Right.
challenges
That's
me
right.
to, okay,
Oh,
Kim, if you
good.
want to attract that, you need to show
Mm,
up as that yourself.
that's right.
Absolutely. Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Who are we being? I
Yes.
was on a training a couple of months ago with several people, several high tier, speakers and prominent people in the industry of, personal development and speaking and, mindset. And one of the speakers said, we talk about wanting to become wealthy, but who do you have to
Right.
be wealthy? So
Yes,
who do
ma'am.
you have to be the coach that want to help people from your platform, your
Yes.
mantle? Who do you have to be? Absolutely. And so many women and my clients as well. I say I hear what you're saying, but who are you? You talked about that earlier, pulling those roots up, right? We have to do that because it's in the way. What is the
Yes.
business of you? Yeah.
I love that.
So that principle of who am I? To say that
Yes.
I want to now attract this. Am I attracting that, or am I even being that to attract that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It is critical that you
Mm,
spend time finding out who you are. And it's not just something that you're just going to be like, well, this is who I am. I mean, it's critical that you do research on yourself, because
come
we do
on.
research on other stuff. I went through a program of researching your name, and it blew my mind. And
Yes.
when I did it, I started telling everybody what their name is. Well, what's your name? Let me look at this. And let me.
Yeah.
So it blew
Yeah.
my mind. I knew a little bit because I've always been learned, and as a coach, I also believe that I have to stay a lifelong learner because
Yes. Yes.
I want my clients to elevate beyond me,
Me too. That's
right?
right. That's
But
right.
I have to continue to be a lifelong learner. But I'll give a little snippet about my name. So my name is Kimberly, and Kimberly means a tree in the royal forest. And we know what a tree provides. A tree provides protection. A
Yes.
tree provides sustenance. A tree provides fruit. It provides shade in the hot
Come
sun.
on.
A tree
Come on
provides
now,
paper.
Kim.
Paper is money.
Mm.
Honey,
Come
a
on,
tree
Kim.
provides a lot,
Come
right?
on. I love
And
it.
like God really affirmed that to me, and he reminds me that I have everything I need, because the tree could be planted anywhere
Everything.
and don't need nobody to water it,
That's right.
right? It's
That's
watered by
right.
God.
That's right.
So yeah, uh,
Mm.
I think it's important to know who you are, not just what your name means, but just who you are. Who do you
Yes.
represent as? How do you show
Yes.
up? Because when you
Yes.
walk into the room and there are people who want to change who you are, when you know who you are,
You are.
you're unmovable, right? Like a tree planted
Yes.
by the water, I cannot be moved.
Be
You
moved.
know who you are, because I remember when I first met you and you walked into the room, I was partnering with another young lady, Elaine. We were
Yes.
hosting an event, and you walked into the room, and I felt the shift in the atmosphere. And I told you
Wow.
about that. And
Yes.
I was like, young lady, when you enter the room,
You did. Thank you,
we
Kim.
all moved.
Thank you, Kim. Oh, I appreciate that. I do. I do. I do. Yeah, and I don't take that lightly. Melly B says, she said, Melly B, thank you. Great conversation. We were glad that you are here and that you are getting these nuggets that she is. Listen, I told everyone, I said it. I said Kim's getting ready. Didn't I tell them? I said Kim's getting ready to come and drop the. Listen, when I talk to Kim, when I just look at her post, I say, is she talking to me personally? Why is she all up in my business? I've told you this. I say, here go Kim again. Instagram, Facebook. Facebook. I said, if she don't stop, but God, thank you. Okay. Right? I said, okay, okay. So she is telling you her backstory. So Kim, did you get over the hurdles easily or
No,
was there a
ma'am.
struggle?
No, ma'am. So I'm a mom. I have one son. My son has had 5 children. He has one pass. So
So sorry for that. So sorry for your
thank
grandchild.
you. Thank you. I went through the deepest mommy guilt. And if you are her mom, you've spent time pursuing purpose, you can identify that,
Okay.
to me, like I was never there, and all this. And I went through part of my healing. I had a conversation with my son, and I apologized to him. He's an adult, but I apologized to him. Like, I know that I was pursuing my career a lot, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like there was times when you needed me, when he was going through a struggle in his life. I told him I feel like there's times that you needed me and I wasn't there. And my son's
Mhm.
response was, "Mom, I don't ever remember you not being there." But I
Wow.
carried this so long and never
Yeah.
had the conversation with him. I'm
Yes.
sharing this because this will set somebody else free, right? Because if
Yes.
you dedicate your children back to God, you don't have to carry any guilt, zero guilt.
Zero.
Zero. My
Mm.
son said, "Mom, whenever I needed you, you were there." Like whenever I wanted to be in a basketball team or a football team or whatever, if I wanted to do these things, he said, "You took me to your job when you didn't have a
Yeah.
babysitter.
Yeah. Yeah.
You were
Yes.
there." So his
Yes.
perspective was not what I thought it was, and just those conversations really, that was a big hurdle that I really had
Mm.
to get over, because as I left the corporate environment and then I was starting my own business, it was blocking me from really doing it the way that I knew I could do it, because
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm about to get busy again. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm about to not be at home again. And I'm
Yes.
global, so I'm not gonna be at
Right.
home, right?
Right. Right.
Right.
Right. Yeah. And I talk about that, Kim, so much. I'm hearing you talk about work balance, the work
Mm-hmm.
balance,
Mm-hmm.
and so many of women who are working and as well as entrepreneurs are married and have children. How
Yes.
do you balance the work balance of that and not feel the guilt or feel like you're not giving enough, in either area? So creating
Right.
that work balance. Do you
Yeah.
talk to your clients about that work balance space?
You know what? I'll talk to my clients about whatever it is they need to work through that they can get to where they're going. And if it's something that I have experienced, then I can share my experience. If it's
Mm-hmm.
not, if God gives me the words to say, then I say that.
Yes.
If it's not my area of expertise, I have plenty of phenomenal connections like yourself.
Yes, yes,
So I'm open to going where they need to go because I work with the whole person.
yes, I
So
do
if
too.
you know,
Hmm.
if you know
Hmm.
me, I am a woman of God. My mantle is business. I
Mm,
talk about business a lot. If you hang with
yes.
me, we're gonna talk about business. And if you don't want to talk about business, we're not gonna hang that long.
Okay. Now she
But I
said
will
what she
hang it
said.
out.
Okay,
Yes,
that's it.
hang
She
it
said what
out,
she
right?
said now. I get
So
it. I get it.
yeah, I'm no expert, but I have been married for 3 decades. And my advice, thank you, is to be present when you're present. So I'm with
Yes,
him, I'm with him. We
yes,
hang in and we date. That was on my bio. We date. Just
yes,
went to the Catalina Club in Hollywood. That's a nice little spot to have a
yes.
and some music. So be present. That's what I learned, to be present. When I'm
Be
with you,
present.
and
Mm,
I want that to be part of who I am as a person. So when I'm with
yes,
Deshaun, I want Deshaun to have my attention.
yes,
I want to be present with you so that I can pick
yes.
up, I can pick up the
Mm-hmm.
cues. As a coach, I can't pick up the cues if I'm not present.
Right,
Right.
right.
So that would be the one advice. That's the only advice I would give from that. Be present. If you're with your kids, be with your kids.
Yes, and that's good. That's
Yeah.
good. I love that. I love that. I love that. Thank you, Kim. Let's move to the worthy moment. So, in this journey, we're talking about the inception, right? We're talking about hurdles, conflicts, things that try to break you down as an entrepreneur, no matter where you are in the stage of that game. And now, when did you know, Kim, that showing up as the leadership and business, development, partner, coach and trainer, facilitator, speaker that you are, when did you know this is it? This is what I call your oxygen. When did you know that?
Ooh, again, I don't know that I have a specific time, but I can tell you that I know every time I need to know, if that makes sense. So when I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to do something, the
Yes.
Lord sends a person to confirm.
Mm.
Perfect example. Not that I did want to do this, but I did have a little bit of anxiety about it, right? So yesterday I was working on a project and I stopped by to get some spray paint and I ran into a young lady that I know, and she said, "Your webinar is tomorrow." I saw her in the store and I'm like, "Hey girl." She said, "Oh, your webinar is tomorrow." And I said, "My webinar?" She said, "Yeah, with Deshaun. She doesn't know you." She said, "Your webinar is tomorrow." And it's just things like that. It's confirmation that
Yes.
people need this,
Oh.
right? It's not about you. Like I
Mm.
went to, but like to talk about when I had to erase the board, what I was doing was more about me, and people
Yes.
need this. So just show up.
Yes.
And every time I feel like, okay, Lord, you told me to do it, I'm gonna do it.
Do it. Yeah.
Somebody comes along and says something. I mean, this has happened throughout my life. I One of my things that I had to do was terminate people. Like if they needed to get terminated from the company, they got fired. And I can remember multiple people coming back later saying, "Thank you for firing me," because then I went on and became a nurse, or you know,
Mm.
just things like that that are
Yes.
affirming that you're in the right place at the right time. And in this season, like the Lord's really been giving me trust the process over and over and over.
Okay.
I keep
Okay.
hearing that over and over. You guys probably
Yes.
see me share it a lot. I'm showing you my little
Yes.
flowers that's growing and my orange tree that's growing because he's teaching me to trust
The
the process.
process.
Trust
Yes.
process. That if
Yes.
I give you something, like he gave you that one woman show, if I give you something, just
Yes.
do it. Trust
Just
the
do it.
process. And
Mm.
those are like worthy moments that come up over and over and over. And if I have to say one that comes to mind right now, it may not definitely be related, but I'm one person, so it's all related. My nephew and my niece asked me to officiate their wedding.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And when they
Yes.
asked me, right,
Yes.
last year, I think 2022, when they asked me, I was like, who, me? And
Mm-hmm.
my nephew was like, yeah, auntie, we want you
Yes.
to officiate our wedding.
Yes.
And I was like, hold on, I'm going to call you back. Because I'm thinking, I'm
Right.
no minister. I'm no pastor. Can't y'all go find somebody?
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
then even better than that. So after they said it, then I went and I told my husband, I said, Andrew
Mm.
asked me to officiate his wedding. And his response was, wow, what an honor.
Yes. Yeah.
That's
Yes.
it. And
Absolutely.
I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm doing it.
It's
And so I
happening.
did my
Right.
due diligence and,
Yeah. I love that. If you're listening, you all, and you're with us, I'm hearing Kim share with us that worthy moments are always available. They're always present. They're always happening. Let us tune in. Let us not think that once we've said yes to the calling on our life, that that's it. That isn't just it, right? That doesn't stop there. It doesn't just end there. For some reason God has me on this journey with Moses, child, and I'm like, oh Lord. So I was in the Bible yesterday, and God took me to where the Israelites, and they were receiving the manna from heaven, but they
Mhm.
had to receive it what, every day,
Daily, yeah.
every day, and if they
Mhm.
tried to store it up, it spoiled. God said to me, Deshaun, you must remember that even though you prayed that day and I answered that prayer, that even though this is a new day, still seek me on
Yes,
peace over what you've asked me and
yes,
what I've given you. Still seek my peace, Deshaun, daily. Don't
yes,
let your peace be something that you thought was just on that Friday or that Thursday because I answered the prayer. No, just like the Israelites and the man, you have to trust me and depend on me daily. So I'm hearing that your worthy moments are daily, and I'm going to take that for me. I love that it is a daily part of the journey, right? And that you're
yes,
constantly going to be given the confirmation, the affirmation, the way to go to the next level in that process with God. And so I love that you said, it'll just happen so lightly. And that's the God that we serve. And we have
yes.
to not put God in a box.
Mhm.
And we
Yes,
have
ma'am.
to, let me say this for the people listening, the
Mhm.
people in the back, you got to first have a relationship with God. Now,
Right.
some people say they don't hear him. I say, well, do you talk to him?
Right.
Because you talk to me. People know my character because what? We are together. We show up for one another. We
Yes.
relate to each other. We're communicating. We spend time. Spend time with God so you can hear God, so you can know his
Right.
character. And when you do that, he will show you and speak to you and give you, I like that, these worthy moments.
That's a word in a word right there.
Right? Yeah.
That is a word in a word. I believe that everything you need is already available to you.
Already
And
available.
when God is sending me those people, he just like, let me send my daughter somebody to just let her know she on the right path. And then
Yes.
those are things that I pray for. Like I say, Lord, send me somebody that affirms this, because God speaks through people also. Send me someone that affirms this.
That's
I
right.
want to know that I'm on the right path. I
Yes,
always
me
pray,
too.
Lord,
Me
make
too.
the path so
Yes.
clear that I can't miss it. You know,
Yes.
he just repeats the same thing over and over. I get
Yes.
the repeated thing over and over. But I pay attention to everything, and everything has a meaning in my life. So when that happens, it's just like when the young lady said it, I was like, okay, Lord, that's what we
You
doing.
watching, you telling me where I'm going. Right. This is it. I'm in the
It
right place.
happens over and over and over. And you talk about
Yes.
levels a little bit. And I believe that this whole journey is about levels. I think it's
Yes,
about
it
levels.
is.
And
Yes,
if
it
you
is.
stuck in the last worthy moment, then you're stuck in the last level. You're stuck in the last season. And we've
Yes.
moved on to the next season. If you're walking
Yes.
around in the summer, you got your rain boots and your raincoat and your umbrella. Although we might get a little summer shower, but keep it in perspective. If you got on your wool
Yes.
coat and you're just for the wrong season,
That's
you're going to
right.
be uncomfortable. We have to release those things so that we can move to the next season. In my coaching practice, I do level up, rise, and soar because I
Yes.
believe that God is like I'm helping the eagle soar. I'm attracted to these
Yes.
magnificent, one of a kind people,
Yes. Yes.
eagles and that are bogged down like an airplane. If
That's
it's too
right.
much
That's right.
luggage on the airplane, it can't
That's
take off.
right.
Right? Got to get
That's
the weight
right.
on it right, and which means that we got to release yesterday's stuff. That
Yes,
was
we
good.
do.
That was amazing. But that's
Yes, we
if you
do.
ever seen the picture, and I have analogies up the yin yang. If you ever seen the picture of the little teddy bear, and God has the big teddy bear, and you got the little teddy bear, you don't want to let it go. He says,
Yes.
"This is my teddy bear I had since I was 2 years
Little.
old. I can't let it go. What are you talking about, God? I can't survive. I can't breathe without this teddy bear."
Right.
And God has something bigger for you, but you have
Yes.
to release and surrender. Like you said, surrender. You
Yes.
have to surrender.
Yes.
And that is part of the process. That's what helps you go higher. That's what helps you go from rising to soaring. Because when you get to the soaring level, the air is different up there,
Come
baby.
on.
Right? The air is thin.
Yes,
You
it
can't use
is.
them untrained lungs at that level. Right?
I
You
love it.
gotta train
Listen,
them as
I
we
told
go.
them Kim is
Right?
dropping it. Kim, we got a question. I want to get this question into you. First, Melly B says, what a great perspective impacting people's lives, right? By planting seeds. And she also has a question. Here we go, Kim. This is for you. How do you, with all of this, which is great, how do you stay motivated? Mm.
Hmm.
Thank you for that, Melly B. Excellent, excellent question.
That is a phenomenal question. And I do get that question often.
Yeah.
Because, maybe it appears that I'm always motivated, but human being, not always motivated.
Yeah.
But my mom was just a really positive thinker. Like she
Mm.
would have a down moment, but it wouldn't turn into a down day, which wouldn't turn into a down week. And I just really observed that as a little kid. That
Okay.
I knew that it was a rough time, but I would watch her shake it off and like
Yes.
push forward and shift her perspective. And I believe that that's what I do. That I try to shift my perspective
Yes.
and then also having amazing people around you because when we were the prep for this that you called me and we're just going over what we're how the program's going to go, and that day I wasn't having that moment. I won't say that day because I don't give up the day unless
That's right.
yeah, that moment wasn't a great moment. I wasn't down, but I was in the blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
believe that iron literally sharp. I don't just say this. I actually believe this. That
Yes.
your energy on that line, and you maybe weren't even having the best day either. But when you called me and I felt your energy come through the technology,
Mm.
and it doesn't matter what we're talking about. And I have a lot of people in my life like that.
Yes.
When I felt
Yes.
the energy come through the technology, it's like, okay, we doing this.
We doing this. We here. You here. Yes.
All I
Yes.
need is my partner. We doing
That's right.
this.
That's right. So Melly B, I'm hearing Kim offered you changed your perspective. And I also coach my clients in the power of association. What do you associate to a person, thing, or experience, right? And
Mhm.
so Melly B, you want to change your perspective. If you're having a down day or something doesn't seem right, find how can you shift that, turn that around, change that perspective into creating a possibility. Then Kim offered, who's your circle, right? You want to have, it doesn't have to be a big circle. Many times it's not that big, but who are you aligned with? You want to be around some people, persons of like-minded energy, people that you can go to, that you can be poured back into. I found that often for years, I was the one, Kim, that was
Mhm.
Giving all right. Nobody was pouring into me. And I started praying. And I haven't told many people this because it's not their business, honey. But they gonna see it anyway. Listen, I said, God, they just surround me with some other folks
Mm-hmm.
because I'm too well known in myself to know what I need and not say, let me allow it to come to me. Right? I
Absolutely.
know better. And I was like, just giving, and even still today, people, because of the work that we do and the energies that we have and create, people like to create the synergy with us. And so,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, from family to friends, everyone want to know, do I have a minute? Do I have a moment? Deshaun, let me vent. Let me tell. Well, what about, did you check on Deshaun? No, you didn't.
You know what, Deshaun? One thing I learned with that, I went through that too, and in a season, in a previous season, God removed some people, some places, and some things out of my life, and I had to grieve some of the people because I
Me
kind
too.
of wanted to still be with them, but
Yeah.
they can't breathe that air that I'm talking about. We're going
Come
to,
on.
right?
I love that. I
Uh,
love that.
but what I've learned
Mm.
is that people will try to, Kim, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? Can you help me with this? But what I need from them is not exactly what I give to them. So
Yes.
I
Yes.
want those people in my life, that
Right.
somebody who will just get on the phone like, "Hey, girl, what you doing?" and not
Yes.
talk about nothing, but their energy makes me smile.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I don't need them
Yes.
to be my coach.
Yes.
Their energy
That's
just
smart.
makes me smile. I
That's
need people
smart.
around me that
Yes.
have physical energy, like yourself. You have a high level of physical energy. So that physical energy makes me want to get up off the couch. So I don't need to be coached. You know what I'm saying? I don't need the
Right.
coaching from those
Right.
people, but
Yes.
someone who has
Yes.
an amazing, brilliant smile that
Yes.
when you see them, it's just, I have a friend that I just love the tone of her voice, that when I talk to her, like just the tone of her voice lifts my
Yes.
day. So
Yes.
you know what you need, and or
Yes.
you ask God to fill what you need. And you don't need everybody to be exactly like you.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
You don't need
Yes. Oh,
everybody
that's
to be
good.
exactly.
That's good. Melly B
Yeah.
said, thank you for the confirmation. You're welcome. You are absolutely welcome. If you need anything else, we're getting ready to roll this up in just a moment. But Kim, let's move into thank you for the worthy moment. I love what you said about that happening, how it happens daily. Give us your, when I do the show, I always have our beautiful woman entrepreneur share with us what I call your journey words, words that have gotten you through and are still taking you through this journey. So Kim's going to just share with us her offering behind her three beautiful words and how they've shown up for you.
So Deshawn asked me to give her three journey words, so three words that I stand on, and I gave her these three words: love, hope, and faith. And they may seem like simple words, and we're all educated, and I probably could have found a longer a word with eight letters or 15 syllables, but I believe that these three are foundational words, and it's
Yes.
how I really want to show up. These
Mm.
are actually the three foundational words for my marriage too. This is how we want to show up, because everything has
Oh,
a purpose, a reason for existing. Everything has a mission, and this is
yes.
what we decided our mission is. So love, and the Bible says that love is patient, love is kind. That, love doesn't get angered easily. Love keeps no record of wrongs. Love protects, it hopes, it preserves. And when I am not doing those things, I remind myself. So I'm not saying that I always
Mhm.
do these things. When I'm not doing those things, I remind myself that I want to be love. I want to be a
Yes.
representation of love. Love
Yes.
is basic, and is love is basic, and it is as big as it can be, right? And I think, like most words, go back to love. If you were to break them all the way down to
Mm.
what the lowest common denominator is, then it's going to go back to either hate or love, right?
Yes.
Even hate goes to love, because
Yes.
hate was created out of the probably
Out
the
of.
need of love.
Mhm.
So I think that love is a foundational word for me, and I want to give and receive love. I want it to
Mm.
go both ways. I don't want to just be
Mhm.
giving love and nobody loving me. I want to give and receive love.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And then the other two, hope and faith. Hope believes it's possible, and hope
Mm.
is required. Hope believes it's possible. Faith believes it's done. And a lot of people
Ooh,
say, I have the faith. I'll say it again. Hope
yes.
believes it's possible.
Yeah,
Faith believes it's done. But
that's
I know that you have to believe in the possibility. I even have something back there somewhere that says, believe in the possibility. To remind myself to believe that it's actually possible that this could happen. Because a lot
mm,
of times we won't go after something because we don't believe it's possible
we don't.
for
That's
whatever
true.
reason. For whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
To get
Mm-hmm.
into reasons, you got to hire one of us. So we don't believe
That's
that
right.
it's
That's right.
possible in the first place. And if you don't believe it's possible, you can go do all the work and you can show up here
Yes.
and there, like we said, the funnels and the online and the papers, and you can do all that. But if you don't believe that it is possible to happen, it probably won't happen.
That's right. That's right.
You have to believe in the
Beautiful.
possibility.
Love,
And then
hope,
faith believes
faith.
it's done. I have a high level of faith, and I think that that is in my lineage. Like my sisters, they have like great faith. Um, and I believe I have high faith, but I believe like my sister that's 1 year older than me, I'm like, this woman just she has faith. She like don't give up. I believe she was calling my mom back from the grave. Like, and my mom woke up a couple of times.
Kim.
Right? And I think
Ah, I love it.
it's necessary to be
Yeah.
a good
Yeah.
friend. I think you need these things. To be a good person, I think you need these things.
Yes.
There's a lot of flowery things, and I like nice things. I like exclusive things. I like flowery
Yes.
things and the
I love
bling, the
exclusive
gold, and the
things.
silver, and
Yes.
all that. But I
Yes.
like foundation. I like
Yes.
foundation because on
Yes.
my
That
foundation,
infrastructure.
yeah,
What's the
yeah,
yes. Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, well, listen, we're not ending. I want to have you talk about your program, right? What is it? The
So
I'm going to
in
show
this
them.
season, I am
Yeah.
getting back to business.
So I'm going to remove myself and put the banner up. I want us to see what that is and just talk about that for just.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So I see myself right now. I know the banner's going to pop up. In this season, I am getting back to business, and those that are around me are getting back to business. And when I say back to business, I know that we all had, went through the pandemic and maybe we lost a little hope and a little bit of faith in what we were doing. And maybe we needed to recharge ourselves. The three things I talked about was we needed to refocus, restore, and reconnect with our business. And I want to get back to business in a more excellent way. And really, I feel like it was placed on my spirit to offer virtual workshops, to have these series where people can just tap in and we can have that conversation. And then I can give you some practical tools because when you work with me, you're going to get that mindset shift. You won't leave the same person. Like Deshaun said, it might sting a little bit, but we're going to go through it together. And I'm going to be right there with you. But you're also going to get that practical business tool that you can use to apply to your business, because I believe that the labor is worthy of her hire. I believe that you are worthy of compensation for what you're doing. And if you're running a business and that business isn't making any money, I just said it might sting, then you need to get back to business in a more excellent way. If you're doing all the work, but then you look at the receipts at the end of the month, the receipts don't match up with the work, then you need to get back to business in a more excellent way. If you're distracted by this and that and this and that, and you need to really refocus, you need to get back to business in a more excellent way. So I invite you to drop by my website. It's right there, KimberlyConsult.com. You can take my next course. You can just get on the list if you want to get on the list. You can DM me, you can message me so that we can connect and we can go from leveling up to rising to actually soaring, which is where you're supposed to be. I really appreciate Deshaun giving me this time to really connect with you on her platform. This has been so super amazing, and I know she's not done. So I'm going to hand it back to her at this time. I love this
Wow.
woman. If you're not connected to Deshawn, if you came here because you're connected to me and you're not connected to Deshawn, get connected to her.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you, my sister. Thank you. I love the back to business. Listen, everyone, it is time to do that. I don't bring anyone on this platform that is not rocking it out, that is not maximizing their magnificence, but for the most part, that doesn't coach and give from their heart. I am bringing women here who are speaking from their heart and under their anointing. And I know that to be certain. It is my experience with these women. So Kim is here to offer you what you are looking for. You're looking for that. If you're with her, continue. If you know someone that's looking for that, I love the back to business. I love how you're talking about next level all the way to soaring, right? That's where we're going to go to. So listen, I want the people to be able to get in contact with you. So again, we're going to show them everything. This is Kim's Facebook, right? You want to be able to connect with her on Facebook, send her, a message, get connected with her, subscribe to everything that she is offering because you don't want to miss it. She's also on Instagram. Here's her Instagram handle. You don't want to miss out on anything. She is phenomenal. She is life transforming. Okay. Again, she's on LinkedIn here at Kim D. Dixon. You do not want to miss her. You want to get all of the nuggets. I know she's been dropping them all evening, right? I'm doing like this. But because I'm the host, I have to do like this. But I'm really doing like this. I am. I really, really am. So I'm excited because I'm coachable. I'm coachable. And
Me too.
I am a forever student. And so I wasn't just gonna keep this to myself. I want everyone to know. Here is her email. Email her. Show up huge for yourself. Show up big for yourself and get connected and stay connected with this woman. This woman is powerful. She isn't playing. She is about the business of God. We are both about kingdom business, right? And if you say, well, they keep talking about God. But that's, yeah, God. But if you have a higher source, I love that as well. Our goal is that we are in alignment to our highest value. That's the goal. The goal is that you're in alignment, right? We may get out of alignment, but how do we get in and stay connected so that our life is fulfilling, not just to others, but to ourselves, that we're waking up on purpose, in purpose, and serving from that place. That is what this conversation is about. That is what this enlightenment is about, right, Kim? It's about that.
Yeah.
And so before I release her, release you, who've been here with us, and we appreciate you so much. You just have to know that I
I
do.
know. Thank
Thank
you
you
all
for
for
showing
hanging
up.
with us.
Yes, and if you're watching the replay, thank you. You have a question, go ahead and type #replay and let us know what that is. Before I release this beautiful, phenomenal sister girl of mine, Coach Kim, what has been your pillars of strength? We talked about the journey words, but what has been that pillar of strength that has moved you through work balance, through your inception moment, your hurdles, your worthy moments, and continue to uplevel you as you're serving from your overflow?
I would say I learned at one point what got me here won't get me to the next level. And I
Mm,
learned to accept that. And it
yes.
wasn't easy because,
Yeah.
again, it goes back to the same thing, want to hold on. I learned that I have to be open to what it takes to go to the next level. That takes a lot of courage.
Yes.
Courage isn't easy alone, but with the right people around you, same thing. I'm going to say the same thing over and over because that's who
Yeah.
we are,
Yeah.
right? With
Yes.
the right people around you, you can have the courage, and really, courage only requires you to take that one step.
Mhm.
Like Martin Luther King says, right? Just take the one
That's the
step.
step.
One step. You don't have to look at the whole
Oh,
staircase. Take
staircase.
that one step, and that one step leads to the next step, and it leads to the next step. And get
Yes.
some people around you that are rooting for you. In this season, the Lord has changed my connections. I mean, I
Mm,
haven't known Deshawn that long, but I feel like I've known her forever because the Lord has changed my connections to people
yes.
who really
Yes.
want to see you win. Get some people who
That's
really
right.
want to
That's
see
right.
you
Mhm.
win And if you have people that are showing you who they are and they don't want to see you win, then distance yourself. Doesn't mean you have to, I'm not telling you to cut and whatever you do, what you want to do, but distance yourself and make this a season of focus. And if I leave with declare what you want, speak what you seek until you see what you speak.
Say it again, Kim, for the people in the back. One more time.
Speak what you seek until you see what you speak. So if
Oh,
you want to see that, start speaking it.
yes.
I am
Yes.
magnificently made. I am
Yes.
on the
Yes.
right path. I am in alignment with my assignment. Everything I need is available to me. The people
Yes.
that I need in my life are already, what I'm looking for is also looking for me.
Ooh.
Seek until you see what you speak. What you speak, keep going. Trust the process. My whole platform is about keep going. Keep
Yes.
going. Like
Yes.
until we leave here, keep
Yes.
going, whatever that means for you.
Shirley Ralph just said that. I saw her being interviewed on something. She said, "Carry on." In
Yes,
my most,
for
I'm
sure.
gonna
Right.
imitate. Carry on. I said, I was looking at the TV. Okay, I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
carry on. Sure. She said, "Carry on." She said, Cicely Tyson said it. And then 2 weeks later, Cicely Tyson transitioned, right? She
Yeah,
said, I'm going to keep doing my best. I'm like the kids say, period, with a T. Okay?
right.
Right.
And use your voice.
Keep.
Yeah,
Yes.
encourage them to use their voice. Whoever you are, if you're watching replay, live, people want to hear from your voice. So you're hearing it from our voice. Our voice has an anointing, it has power, but
Yes.
so does yours.
So does yours. Jeremiah baby girl says, yes, encourage incremental steps. Kim, you are more than a conqueror. Jeremiah baby girl says, amen. Keep going. Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Thank
follow
you.
that
Thank you.
Jeremiah baby girl, because that's the person I was talking about in the first half that told me to take those grave clothes off.
Oh,
It's Jerry.
oh my
Connect with
goodness.
her. Connect with her.
Awesome.
My life
Wow.
hasn't been the same since I met her.
What, don't you love that? Thank you, Jeremiah, baby girl, for that. Yes. But see, if she didn't show up, right, for who she was, and that's what I say to the clients that I'm coaching and say, if I didn't show up, we wouldn't be having a conversation. I'm not showing up for just me. And they go, oh, I said, I so get it. I get it. But I love Kim. I love this part of this conversation on this show, the pillars of strength, because this is where the women just come and just have church. They go into church real quick. She didn't give a whole, you didn't win, and I love it because it's the grounding, it's your
Yeah.
infrastructure,
Yes.
it's that foundation.
Yes.
And it's not just for her alone, it's for her to share and to tell us how and why and what that feels and look like and to share it. So that's why I asked, what is your pillars of strength? Because
Yeah.
life is lifing, right, Kim?
Yes, ma'am.
Life is lifing.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
when and a lot of us think that, well, I'm not equipped. Well, God doesn't call the equipped, He equipped those that He called. Remember that. You don't have to have the 10-page book written. You don't have to have all of it together. Show up. He will equip you once you've
Yeah.
said yes. I often say, and I've been saying this for years, this is one of my quotes, when the essence of your soul shows up and serves you notice, what will you do?
Yes, ma'am.
What will you do when it
That was
says,
good.
hey, I think there's more you need to be doing. It looks like this. I'm serving you notice. What it meant to me was that the old self, who I was being served an eviction notice.
Can you
And
say that
right,
again? Because I want to write it down.
yes, when the essence, when the essence of your soul shows up, when the essence of your soul shows up and serves you notice,
Mm.
what will you do?
Yes, yes.
Will you ignore it and say, oh, I got time. I'll get to it in 2 months, 3 months. I don't have the money yet. I don't feel like I can do it yet. I'm too busy. When the old self is trying to be evicted, so the new version of who you've always been. See, it's who you always been. Says, I can no longer hide. But all of the junk and stuff that we go through in life, see, when we're born like a blank sheet of paper, nothing's on it, a blank canvas. But then all of the external affairs and breakdowns of the world and conditionings and all those things and noises, toxins, all those things show up. And then we become someone else. And we believe that's ourself, but it isn't. So when your soul in your belly says, wait a minute, sister, brother, wait a minute, this is not who you are. And it serves you that notice. You know it. You know what's happening. What will you do? Will you take the courageous steps? And I pray that you will. I
So
pray that
Deshaun just gave you a whole coaching program right there.
whole coaching program. Whole coaching program. Right. Because
I
that's
love
it.
it. I love it.
That's it. So Kim, I'm done. Anything you want to bless the people, you've already blessed. You want to take us out on a high note. What do you want to say to the listeners, to those watching the replay, Kim, on the YUMME Cafe today? Woo!
I want to say, I'll leave with this. Whatever urging that you're feeling right now that you want to do, and it keeps coming to you, that you know that this is the season for me to do, you fill in the blank. You've been talking about starting that podcast. You've been talking about transitioning, creating a room in your home for somebody. You've been talking about starting a business. And it might not just be a business, it could be whatever. You've been talking about starting this thing, and you've been talking about it and talking about it and talking about it. I want to encourage you to take one step, just one. Take one step and then take the next. And if you need support, support is available, because we said everything you need is already available to you. Reach out for the support. What you're looking for is also looking for you.
I love it.
I
I love it. Okay, I'm just going to read the last comments here. I love it. Jeremiah, baby girl, said, hey, Kimmy. Kim, you spoke truth as usual. Deshaun is quiet and truly delightful. W-O-G. I don't know what that means.
Woman of God.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus. Yes, Jeremiah, baby girl. Eviction notices served. And then also she says Psalm 139 in effect. Yes. Melly B says, love it. Listen, we love you all. We thank you so much. We thank you so much for being here with us this evening and staying the course. I am just blessed. I'm so grateful for your presence this evening, Kim. And she is global. And she didn't even tell us that she just got back from. Can you just tell the people where you went, Kim? Can you just say that a little bit?
So I went and spoke in Madrid, Spain.
Okay, pause for the applause. Pause for the yes. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Because I said yes to the opportunity, and I am open to new opportunities. I've been posting that on my page, and you guys been clicking like. And the reason why I said to read it out loud instead of repeat after me is that a lot of people will tell you repeat after me, but you don't want to repeat what they're saying. So be careful in that. I want to just put that out there. But yes, I am open to new opportunities. Are you open to new opportunities? So I did get the opportunity. Thank you, Diane, and she probably is watching as well, to go to Madrid, Spain, and have the opportunity to speak globally. And that is one of many. I got the opportunity to go to Australia, and like God owns the whole world, so it's nothing to God. And if you work with me, you're gonna hear God. If you don't want to hear God, you don't want to work with me.
Yes, I am. Christine says, yes, Christine Harper. Yes, thank you, Kim and Deshaun. You're welcome. Thank you. Melly B, I don't, on over here, whatever the emojis are, it doesn't come up as emojis. I don't know. It's just little boxes, but I think I'll give you a thumbs up. And then Jeremiah, baby girl, says, share this interview out because someone needs to hear this. Yes. Absolutely. It is on my platforms and I do share it. It also holds on both of my Facebook pages as well as my YouTube page. Kim, thank you so very much. I have just been so blessed, and I know that all of us who have been listening and watching have been as well. Ladies, what did she say? And gentlemen, take the courageous step. Take the step. and then say to yourself, yes, I can align myself with someone that can help me, that can assist me. We're not on an island. It's not about isolation, it's about
Mhm.
collaboration.
Yes,
And so
ma'am.
don't worry about saying, how do I do this on my own? Because you don't have to do it alone. You don't have to do that. So, Kim, I just want to say again, thank you. This has been amazing. You have given so many. Oh, okay. Melly B says, I'm clapping my hands. Yes, that's what that was. Okay. Thank you, Melly B. Thank you so much. Because it doesn't always transcribe right over if it's a different platform. So listen, thank you all. Kim, amazing. I so appreciate you this evening. This was phenomenal. You dropped the nuggets. You gave us the insight, but you were also available to pour and to deposit into us. And I'm so grateful for that. Listen, thank you all for joining us. Catch me next month with my next guest for the Yummy Cafe. She's phenomenal, Miss Wendy. Oh my goodness, she is Wendy Trendy, phenomenal woman, doing great things as well. So I'm always on the third Wednesday of the month, but I'll always invite you and let you see all of the marketing materials. And until next time, make certain that you are always living your life magnified and that you are always maximizing your magnificence. Until later, as I always say, mwah, smooches and deuces, and reignite your fire. Thank you.